What if every doubt that ever shadowed your mind was nothing more than the echo of a voice you once let define you? What if every hesitation, every moment of fear, every whisper of "I can't" was nothing but a mask waiting to be torn away? Listen closely. Beneath the weight of uncertainty, beneath the layers of self-judgment, there lies an ember. Tiny, flickering, almost unnoticed. That ember is your inner power. And today, you will learn how to fan it into a blaze that no obstacle can extinguish. You begin in a room of your own making, one that's furnished with the thoughts you feed yourself day after day. Some of these thoughts are kind. I will learn. I will grow. I will overcome. Others come wrapped in barbed wire. You're not enough. You'll never succeed. Who do you think you are? In this room, your mind is both builder and demolisher. Every belief you hold is a brick in the walls around you, or a chisel striking them down. What you choose to believe will determine whether these walls confine you or guide you, whether they become your cage or your cathedral. Imagine Thomas Edison, bent over the mechanics bench in Menlo Park, surrounded by shattered filaments and twisted wire. A voice in some other man's head might have whispered, "It's impossible, quit." But Edison heard a different voice, one that celebrated each spark, each tiny flicker of potential. To him, failure wasn't a verdict. It was the tuition he paid for mastery. He placed his hands on the cold metal, and he said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that don't work." In that simple reframe, he turned defeat into data, doubt into discovery, and a broken filament into the incandescent glow that would light the world. You are the Edison of your own destiny. The next time you encounter a glitch in your plan, a sudden setback, or a voice of self-doubt, remind yourself that every twist, every turn, is part of your curriculum. You aren't stumbling toward defeat. You are schooling yourself in resilience. You are carving a path through rock, one determined blow at a time. Embrace the lessons hidden in your setbacks, for they are rich with wisdom the untested will never know. Now, let your mind become a forge. In this furnace, every conviction is tempered by the heat of experience, shaped by the hammer of action. But a forge is only as good as the fuel you feed it. What is your coal? Your coal is the collection of beliefs you choose to kindle. If you kindle doubt, your spirit will sputter and die. If you kindle conviction, I will learn, I will grow. Close your eyes for a moment and picture Carnegie himself in a lecture hall, voice warm but insistent, leaning toward his audience as if sharing a sacred secret. Develop success from failures. Discouragement and failure are two of the surest stepping stones to success. Feel that conviction surge through you, binding itself to every instant of frustration you've ever felt. Align yourself with the belief that every misstep is a stepping stone, every hesitation a prelude to momentum. But belief alone is not enough. Belief without clarity is like a ship with no compass, adrift, vulnerable to every passing wind. Clarity is the compass that directs the power you've ignited. To find clarity, you must pause and ask two questions. What is my purpose? And what is my next step? Purpose is your North Star. Your next step is the sail that catches the wind. Let's take a moment to ground this in the everyday. Imagine you wake at dawn, the horizon still tinged with yawn gray light. Your phone pings. An email from your boss. The to-do list you thought you'd conquer yesterday. A message from a friend whose problem now feels like your own. It can feel like the day is already running away without you. But purpose is stronger than any notification. Purpose is the melody that drowns out the clutter. So, before you reach for the screen, reach for your vision. What are you here to build? Whose life are you here to touch? What story are you determined to tell? With every sunrise as your first audience. It may be that you aim for a promotion, a healthier body, a book completed, or a new connection forged. Whatever your purpose, let it speak first. Let your vision write the opening lines of your day. Clarity comes when you give form to purpose. A sentence, a plan, a commitment you whisper to yourself in the quiet dark before the world awakens. With clarity in hand, discipline becomes your vessel. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a pact you make with yourself. It's the promise to show up day after day, even when your spirit shudders in protest. It is the gentle, unyielding push that turns your next step from a whim into a habit, from a task into a triumph. Picture Henry Ford, pacing the dimly lit floors of his factory at night, sweat on his brow, grit in his gait. He wasn't simply building cars. He was engineering a revolution in how the world moved. He understood that true innovation wasn't born of inspiration alone, but of relentless, methodical action. One bolt tightened, one engine tested, one assembly line optimized. You don't need to move continents to harness discipline. Start where you are. Commit to a single action that aligns with your purpose. Maybe it's writing 500 words, making one sales call, or stretching for 5 minutes. Whatever it is, do it before anything else. Protect that moment as fiercely as you would guard the last ember of your inner power. Over time, that single spark evolves into a beacon, illuminating the path forward. And then action becomes a drumbeat, resonating through your life. Step, step, step forward. You'll find that momentum, once gained, carries you further than any amount of willpower alone. With each step, doubt recedes, clarity sharpens, and belief deepens. The ember in your chest flares until it becomes a flame, your inner power fully unleashed. This journey demands gratitude as much as grit. Gratitude is the oil that keeps your forge running smoothly. It reminds you that every failure you've survived, every setback you've weathered, and every person who stood by you has added fuel to your fire. It is the acknowledgement that you do not rise alone. While your power emerges from within, it dances in the light cast by those who support you, challenge you, and inspire you. So take stock of the allies at your side. Mentors who believed in you before you believed in yourself. Friends who picked you up when you stumbled. Moments of serendipity that nudged you onto this path. Let gratitude anchor you, because it transforms ambition from a lonely climb into a shared ascent. It turns the heat of your forge into a hearth around which others can gather, warmed by the glow of a power that was once hidden. And so, you adapt. Like the chameleon, shifting its colors, you learn to read the changing landscape of opportunity and setback. Adaptability is not surrender, it is mastery over uncertainty. It is the skill of bending without breaking, of flowing like water around obstacles, carving new channels when old ones dry up. Look at Carnegie's own story. The farm boy who became a lecturer, the speaker who became a best-selling author, the author who became a mentor to millions. He did not cling to a single identity. He evolved with every twist of fate, finding ways to serve, to teach, to inspire. Your evolution follows the same principle. When a strategy falters, iterate. When a relationship frays, communicate. When a goal shifts, realign your compass and set your sails anew. The ember of your inner power does not flicker because the wind changes course. It blazes brighter, fueled by resilience and recalibrated purpose. And through every trial, every triumph, you learn. You become a student of your own story, collecting lessons in the ledger of experience. You will face moments when the forge seems cold, when the compass spins without direction, when the drumbeat of action falters into silence. In those moments, return to your ember. Stoke it with the fuel of your convictions. Belief, clarity, discipline, gratitude, adaptability, and learning. Feed it with stories of pioneers who refused to yield. Edison, Ford, Lincoln, Disney. Let their resilience echo in your bones. Let their insistence on possibility become your anthem. Feel it now, the warmth in your chest, the spark that trembles with potential. This is your inner power, waiting, watching, ready to ignite the world around you. It does not belong to someone else. You do not need permission to unleash it. It is yours, a birthright of every human spirit that chooses to rise. So rise, feed the forge, set your compass, keep your promise, take that first step and then the next. Let gratitude light your path. Let adaptability steer you through storms. Let learning sharpen your every move. And above all, let belief blaze without apology. For when you own your inner power, you do not merely survive the world, you transform it. This is your moment. Own it.